This could happen to anyone at any time. As soon as that last paycheck is gone, that's it. You get to live in a tent right next door to me. Hey, I make coffee every morning. You're welcome. I don't wish this on anybody, but if it happens, it happens.
Nobody can get through this world without any money. You know, right, wrong, or indifferent, you have to have some type of cash. And so when the landlady appeared for the check, I said, I can't do nothing, you know, then you need to get out.
If I could find a job I could physically handle, I would be working.
Most kids, when they're 16, they get their sweet 16 party in a car or got a tent at the river.
I came into Casa de Esperanza because of a domestic violence relationship that I was in. I was married and using drugs and on the run from probation and on the run from CPS with my 3-month-old son. I knew I didn't want my son in that environment. I knew that I didn't want to be in that environment. And I knew the only reason I was sitting in a drug house was because I was hiding from my ex-husband.
This isn't the first time my children and I have actually moved to a strange place and not know anyone, not have nowhere to go. My children and I have traveled all over the U.S. If a situation gets too strenuous if I feel it's too dangerous for my children, I'll just pack up and leave.
I had an injury, lost my job, we had to have a store closure. I owned a thrift store. Me and my husband got divorced, ended up not being able to pay the rent, so we ended up needing a shelter.
The lack of work and the just not being able to find extra work has brought me to the point of being homeless. I lost my job in about September, the beginning. By the end, we didn't have money for rent, and we went through the eviction process pretty much right away because we didn't have rent, and we just tried to do what we could not to be homeless, and then we tried finding programs to get into before we were completely kicked out because we knew we just had nowhere to go. We did the welfare emergency homeless program where they pay for the hotel for 2 weeks and still was trying to find work, and just there's nothing with my health and trying to find work with my history.
It took me a while to find out about it. I found out about it. My neighbor from where we had to leave is a volunteer at Hands of Hope. And I happened to see her at my doctor's office and was telling her about the situation. She said, "Where are you guys living now?" I said, "Well, we're not. We're couch surfing, kind of, in 2 separate places. We had to split our family up because there was no place for all of us." And she told us about rest, but it wasn't starting till November 29th. And this was the end of October, so we had to kind of stretch our savings on motels until then. So we pretty much exhausted our savings doing that.
For a person that's in my situation, that's homeless, with 4 children, it's a mother's dream to be able to come to a city that you don't know anyone, and you immediately come to the city and everybody's opening their arms to you.
It's a lot different than I thought it was going to be. I really was afraid of bringing my children to a place where homeless people were going to be, because I always had this idea of what homeless people look like, and it was not like me. And getting here and seeing the amount of families and normal people, it's people just like me and my family.
It helps a lot knowing that you're not the only one in this whole situation. There's REST, which is the Regional Emergency Shelter Team. You're transported to a church at night Every week you go to a different church. They have cots that you set up, and you have a sleeping bag, pillow, blanket. We have dinner, and then you have time to hang out with other people, get to know the volunteers. And
girls are happy when at night, they have their playtime and their food and they have a bed. They seem really happy and they have a lot of fun.
I know it's temporary, but I know God put people in our lives for a reason, whether it's temporary or permanent. But being here has taught me so much.
It gave me quiet time to look for the little bit of things, good qualities I had left. My faith, I changed my hair, started making dentist appointments, got in school. Just gave me that quiet time to start working on myself.
Being a couple, we're allowed to use the Hands of Hope, which is an outstanding organization, which means I'm luckier than a lot of people out here camping on the river because I get access to showers, I get access to laundry, I get access to clothes. And being clean is a major thing, especially if you're looking for a job.
there's Jenny and Derek who do a coffee and donuts breakfast type thing. Everybody gets together. You get a goodie bag with different items in it, like instant coffee packages. My dad gets a kick out of those. But you do get the pleasure of socializing. Jim Leonard's Feed, it's a group of people who volunteer to come out 2 days a week and feed the homeless. And that one's great because you get to know other people and you get lunch, of course. The volunteers are really great. They take the time and make the effort to actually get to know people and pretty much become your friend.
When I got the keys to my house, it was the most freeing experience I've ever had in my whole entire life because I could actually afford the rent by myself. I didn't need anybody's help. I could take care of Mike's son, and I actually got my daughter back now. And I could take care of them all by myself. I don't need a relationship to be able to provide everything we need.
Waiting on a waiting list for Richland housing. So hopefully we will have our own place before the rest is over. I'm also trying to save up money and buy storage units like we used to do before. We're trying it again, and we're gonna do another shot at reopening her store.
Well, I finally have a place. So once the inspection is done, I can pay my deposit and I can move in.
To me, everything happens for a reason. You know, we all meet, whether it's a lesson, a blessing, or both. And so this has been a lesson and a blessing.
I've been homeless for 4 years now, which statistics show that at the end of 4 years, people who are homeless, they usually don't get out by the end of 4 years. And I plan on changing those statistics, using all my resources and getting help from friends as well and family members, and I plan on getting out. And once I get out, I plan on helping others get out too.